Hello everybody, it is me, Amethyst Penguin, and welcome to our life. Um, yeah. Hi, I'm in, apparently I'm in for a doozy, and Vivian is messaging me the, the one picture I sent a while ago that, like, not even everyone knows about. And it's not on YouTube or Twitch. I got rid of those face reveals if there were any. Nothing. Anyways, let's get into this. Alright, new file. Maybe I should have done config first. Whoops, it's fine. Ooh. Welcome to our life, beginning and always. There are various ways you can customize and interact with the game. This tutorial is an overview of how certain features work. Skip auto save config. What is config? Ooh. Let's turn music down a bit. I don't. Okay. Cool. I did turn down. Is it good now? Is music good now? Cool. I'll just leave it as is with that. Cool. You can read the full tutorial from the main menu to learn about everything in detail. To start off, the game is divided into 4 time periods called steps. Step 1, childhood, Step 2, adolescence, Step 3, young adulthood, and Step 4, adulthood. Adulthood. Our life is further divided into sets of vignettes that take place during specific periods of time. Those are called moments. Moments can be played in any order, or skipped entirely. You move on to the next step whenever you want by selecting that summer is ending. Steps 1 to 3 include 5 moments each, and even more can be unlocked by purchasing DLCs. Some are out now, and other DLCs will be released later on. The only DLC I have is the, name one, because it's free. Step 4 is an epilogue and doesn't include moments. A lot happens over the years that go by, especially in regards to the character you play as. You determine nearly everything about the main character. Name, appearance, personality, pronouns, interests, skills, their relationship with major characters, and so on. That's so much. It's truly just make yourself. What? That gif is hilarious. Also, yes, that picture does exist, but is also old. Though I will say I do currently have blonde hair. Anyways, you can decide to change the details as time goes on, with a few exceptions. Your last name, skin tone, and eye color can't be altered once set. No. Well, it kind of did wear out, but also I bleached it because I wanted to bleach it. Cool. Much of the main character's basic traits are determined on a character creation screen. As the MC grows up, more options become available on the screen. As mentioned, one of the decisions you'll get to make for your character is selecting a name. You can type in any name you like, or you can pick a preset name. Preset options are called voice names, because the name will be voiced aloud by the romantic lead. You'll get to hear him say your name as you play through the story. Only the default name, Jamie, is included in the base game. Hundreds more can be added by getting a free voice name expansion DLC, which I have gotten. The full collection of names is separated out as a DLC because of how large it is. If you're not interested in that feature, you don't need to get it. I am interested in it though. Each name in the DLC belongs to or was selected by someone who supported this project. On the character creation screen, there's a cute doll you can decorate to get an idea of what your main character looks like with the different traits put together. Ooh. Not all the things you decide about the main character appear on the doll. The script referring what you've decided for the main character is the main way those decisions influence the game. I'm just like saying main character even though I could just say MC, which is quicker. Our life has a first-person perspective, so your character doesn't appear next to other character sprites. You only see the MC as the decorative doll and in special cut-in CG images. The cut-in CGs only appear if certain choices are made. It's possible not to see any during a playthrough. I want to see one during this playthrough. We'll see if I get that, though. There's also a second type of special MC base screen, the interest/comfort screen. Unless you get DLCs, the game has one love interest, Cove Holden. He grows up with the MC, and the interest/comfort screen is crucial for determining how that plays out. Interest level sets how much you like him. There are 4 levels: disinterest, fond, crush, and love. Love is only available starting in step 3, if you were fond or crush in step 2. That's fair. First playthrough, at least the first playthrough, blind, at least for the most part. Comfort determines how you generally react/think when it comes to him. There are 3 levels: nervous, relax, and direct. Your level of interest and comfort will set the type of dynamic your character has with the love interest. What you did in the past will influence the present, and feelings can change over time. You get to pick your interest/comfort near the beginning of every step. Comfort can switch between the 3 levels as you please. Your interest level can only stay the same or increase. Your current level of interest will become the new lowest option on the screen in the future. For example, if you decide to be fond in step 1, this interest will not be available on the screen in steps 2 and 3, which will make fond the bottom level option for your relationship. CG, computer generated. I'm guessing they're just like pictures, character, I don't know. Basically, it's just like a picture. Essentially. Interest level has an impact when it comes to physically interacting with Cove. While growing up, things are rather simple. If you get along with one another and have a close relationship, you can choose to touch him, and Cove will occasionally interact with the MC in lighthearted or comforting ways. But starting in step 3, touching can become more romantic or suggestive if you're at crush or love. To make sure things go nicely with that, there will be an extra choice to determine the initiate level, and a bonus mini-tutorial that goes along with the choice to explain the feature in more detail. Basically, even if you decide you like Cove, the game won't force you to act on those feelings. Cool. I probably will, though. Hopefully. We'll see. You can always choose not to get together with him, choose not to accept or give romantic gestures, etc. If you do decide to date Cove, though, you can't break up with him later. I mean, that's fair, but also, that's just funny that you have to point that out. If you do decide to date him, you can't break up with him. Kiss, kiss, fall in love, copyright, I don't know. Interest/comfort gets the basics down, but it's the choices that appear throughout the normal game events that decide what actually happens between the MC and Cove. And it isn't only the MC who is impacted by your decisions. I almost said Hove. Cove grows and changes over the years. How he's treated and what he experiences help shape who he becomes. In step 2 and step 3, Cove's personality, appearance, and interests will vary based on what happened in the previous step. It's something of a mystery exactly how your decisions end up changing him. You can try to guess as you go along. Or, if you prefer, you can also just design your own your ideal Cove directly using the Cove Creator option that pops up at the beginning of steps 2 and 3. Ali the First is now playing Our Life Beginnings and Always. Slip, trip, fall in mud? No. Making the choices you want is always more important than making a choice because you feel like you have to in order to get a certain result. Cool. When a choice does appear, you'll usually see that hovering the cursor over an option shows a certain color: yellow, blue, or green. The colors aren't related to specific points or effects. They're only there to give a bit of insight on the tone/emotion of the choice, since text alone can technically be read in more than one way. Cool. Blue tends to be casual/straightforward, yellow more emotive/reactive, and green less certain/uncommitted. Though there are hundreds of options in our life, and not every choice menu falls in line with that pattern. Picking just one color every time doesn't give a gameplay benefit. Only stick to a certain type if that's what you happen to like. Otherwise, switch between them freely. Always pick yellow, never pick yellow. Pursue romance right from the start, never romance the love interest. Be disagreeable or amiable, none of them will lead to a bad ending. Bad ending here, I'm coming. What? I'm kidding. I cut off before I said bad ending, before here I come, and then I meant to say I'm kidding. We're just gonna skip that. You're welcome to enjoy the events and shape the story without reservation. And then, if you like, you can play again to try something new. There's only ever more good content to discover. We hope you have a nice time with Our Life. Thank you for playing. Cool. Ooh, there's so much. There's so much. Oh no. Well, I actually don't know how much there is. Oh. Yeah, there's a lot. Eye cover? This is hilarious. Some of these are just hilarious. Oh, two-tone. What? Two-tone? Oh, it's barely two tones, but okay. That's many two-tones. That's a lot of two-tones. That's hydrate or dihydrate. Cool. Getting a bad ending is virtually impossible, and if you get so virtually impossible or impossible? Let's see. Oh, finally back here. A face shape. Which? Oh, I think this one was the first one. No. Pure white. Gamer moment. I did drink water. Fine, I'll drink a bit more. I can be the sun incarnate. This is probably closest to me. Rectangle just looks sleepy, to be honest. Pointed looks even more sleepy. Oh no, this looks even more sleepy. Alright, I'll just pick the basic one. Eye color. Where blue? Oh, blue, there it is. That looks weird, but it's fine, whatever. Hair back. Oh boy. Yeah, no, I'm just gonna none. Let's do purple because purple. And then voice name. None. Default. Oh boy. This is well, let's roll a d4 to see which... we'll randomize the name, why not? Roll a d4. Because then we'll see which one it's in. One, cool. We're picking one from this screen. Yeah, that's fair. Steven, how dare you? Anyways, oh boy, this is just the first tab and already so many to choose from. I could go here.
Kai.
That moment when I see Ralph suddenly turn pink.
Leo.
Vivian, you're always in the wrong chat. December. I do know somebody with a name of a month. Typo. No, your name. Your name just suddenly turned pink. It might just be weird on my laptop. I've no clue. It's a joke. It's lighthearted. There's so many names. I can change my name later on. I can. It might just be bugged for me. I don't know. Is it? I don't know. It's probably just a bug for me. Anyways, there's so many names. I'll just go V.
V.
I'm kidding. I'll just go K. Can I do that? No, I can't do Kai. I don't know what to do. Could do V or V, or V or I'm kidding.
Diamond.
I don't know what to choose. There's so many. Oh no. I don't. Anyone have a name I should choose? Can I choose? Is Amethyst an option? Amy, close enough. Cool. We'll go with that. Last name? E. Boom. Last name. What? Probably. What should I do for last name? Gerald. I have want to do Gerald. Any suggestions? In the meantime, hand size? We'll go medium. Birthmark? Just have all of them. Without one is non-existent. Cool. I don't want to be traumatized. Oh, those cheeks are a little too rosy. Penguin? Sure, why not? The penguin family. Freckles? Sure, we'll go with that. I don't have glasses. Is there sunglass op? Nope. Cool. Then no glasses. I want to do scars, but then that implies trauma. Sure, just one. All of the above? Bracelet, cool. I'm not a hat person. I'm really not a hat person. It implies you fell in a bush when you were 6. Oh, that's a bit... Where is this? They're just like things that I don't know where they are. Cool, we'll... Oh, achievement unlocked, your life. My life. Summer in Sunset Bird was a special time of year. Your usually sleepy town began to bustle. It was a popular tourist destination, with people coming from all over to enjoy the beach, the weather, and the relaxation that came with both. The smell of the ocean, crisp and salty, hung in the air, bringing 3 whole months of schoolless vacation with it. During summer, your moms didn't like you to wander off too far from outside your neighborhood, so you knew the area pretty well. Moms? Multiple mom moment? Let's go. That included the people. Families came and went from Sunset Bird, but they mostly stayed and did what your mom called putting down roots. Which mom? Which mom? The 4th, wow. They built businesses, they got to know each other, and they definitely said hello to the nice young kids who waved when passing their stores. Going for a walk around town mostly meant that the familiar, friendly residents waved, or asked how your family was, or most often just said hello. You didn't really get why they always had to say hi. They saw you every day, but you nodded back at them anyways. You ended up saying hi to a lot of different people, since most of the tourists that came and went every summer were the same ones. You were too anxious to say hi back to most of the other residents that greeted you, but they all knew you well enough to expect that. Alright. Mom and mommy. Cool. Oh, that's the true. This is the one that's closest to real life. I wouldn't be able to say hi back. They still smiled at you anyway, and that made you feel a little more comfortable. But today, there was a man sitting on the curb outside your house. Hello? He was sitting with his head in his hands, his whole body slumped over, and you wondered if he was even a real person, or a statue that had magically sprung up from the ground overnight. Whoever, or whatever he was... or whatever he was. You had never seen him before. One thing about knowing everyone in Sunset Bird was the people who you didn't recognize really stood out. I'm a cool... It was rare for tourists to venture into the residential district, as your moms called it. So for you, not knowing who a total stranger was set off a lot of red flags. Your mom's had to talk with you and your big sister Lizzie about this kind of situation before. I hadn't been really listening at the time. You'd think it could be okay to talk to new people. They mentioned that some people aren't good to talk to, but other types of people can help you even if you don't know them. You remember that it's okay to run away if you feel uncomfortable. You don't have to worry about being polite then. They mentioned, honestly, I probably wouldn't have been listening. But you weren't sure about this man yet. Still, you felt a bit scared knowing that he was walking the way to your front door. But you were pretty interested. You wanted to know more about what was going on. Whether he was nice or not, you didn't want to be bothered. I'm also laughing, Allie. But I don't know why you're laughing. You slowed down, your mind racing for ideas on how to get past him unseen, but it was too late to escape. There was a split second where your eyes met, and you took in a shaky breath, your eyes darting to the sky, pretending to stare at a bird who was hovering nearby. Hey! His voice startled you and made you jump, but still you didn't look at him. Isn't there voice acting? I thought there was voice acting. Config? Yeah, whatever. The bird landed on top of a nearby gatepost, and its black feathers ruffled against the gentle breeze. Trying to keep your eyes on it was tough, especially when the man stood up and started to make his way toward you. Okay. Still unsure about him, but willing to be friendly, you offered the stranger a smile. The man gives a grin of his own back. Who are you? Do you live around here? What's your name? You looked the man up and down, taking in his tan skin and relaxed appearance. At least his clothes were relaxed. The way he was acting wasn't. He had sharks on his shorts and a stingray tattoo, and you wondered if he was obsessed with the ocean or something. While you made your assessment, he looked at you expectantly, waiting for an answer to his question. I live right there. That's a hunk of a In literally 2 seconds, I'll find out why. Okay. I live right there. My name is Amy. Oh, whoops. I skipped past that. It's fine. Oh, I think he said, like, hello, nice to meet you. Something like that. He gave you a broad smile, relief settling on his face. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a clean $20 bill. It crinkled in his hand as he held it up to you. Even more confused than before, you looked back at him.
Well...
Oh, I thought that was gonna continue. Could you do me a favor? Nothing bad, sorry. I should have... Let me start over. Also the log button. Oh, okay. Cool. Thanks. Child bribery. He cleared his throat and stood up straighter. From where you were standing, it just made him look creepier. I have a son. His name is Cove, who is about your age. Cove, that seemed like a strange name for an actual living person to you. You chewed on the inside of your cheek. This guy was definitely obsessed with water. You thought that was pretty cool. What? Oh, yeah. You thought that was pretty cool. You've never met anyone with that name. Cove's dad. We moved in across the street, see? He gestured toward the house that had been empty for a year, his watch catching the late afternoon sunlight and reflecting off the walls. The gigantic "for sale" sign was finally gone. You must be Amy Penguin, right? I met your moms earlier, and they told me you were 8, just like him. So... He took the $20 bill to bring it back to your attention, a hopeful smile tilting his lips at the corner. Well, are you trying to bribe me to hang out with your son? Yes, you are. In this game, yes. In real life, no. Can you try to be friends with the boy? Just give it a chance and you can keep this. He's a good kid. You'll like him.
Do you mind?
It's kind of just... It's just random times where it's just voice line. Do you mind? But you've got to keep it a secret too, okay? It wouldn't be friendly to say his dad sent you. Dude, other kids really get their parents to pay for friendships? Had your moms done that for you and Lizzie? That thought made you frown. What do you say? You want to make it a deal? You ran away. I mean, I'll take the bill, why not? You carefully plucked the bill from his outstretched hand, grinning at the thoughts of what you could do with that much cash. I'll take the money. I'm not taking this as bribe money, I'm just taking this because you're giving me money. All the sweets you could ever want. You could buy tickets for the newest movie at the cinema. There was a cute stuffed animal you would see in a store in town. It caught... I didn't get bribed. I would have done it anyways. But I mean, it's money. If I'm doing it anyways, I may as well take the money. Cost a few dollars to set up a library cart. With this, you could pay for yourself instead of having your moms do it. You weren't even sure yet. The sky was the limit with that kind of amount. Huh? I'm confused now? What do you mean I've said a lot more for a lot less? Also add in 4 minutes? What? I'm confused now? Okay, true. Okay, that is true. The man smiled at you, his eyes crinkling at the sides as he did. I don't like you. Great, that's great. I'll bring him by tomorrow. I wanted him to meet and greet with the neighbors today, but well, I don't know where he's gotten off to. Okay, that's true. But then again, I have been offered tons of money for a job, and I'm just like, nah, I'll be poor. He laughed when he said that, but with the way his face looked, you thought he actually wanted to cry. If you see him, can you tell him to come on home? Did you tell me what he looked like? I'm not sure you told me what he looked like. Did you? You didn't even tell me what he looked like. Oh. He's got a pink cast and glasses. You can't miss it. Okay, never mind. You did. You just did. Can I keep this either way? Sure thing. It definitely wasn't the normal way kids made friends. You knew that, but you were still going to help. No, I do not like that face, no. Get out of here with that face. The man smiled and reached out to pat you on the head, paused before doing so, then pulled his hand away instead. Good. Good. Your moms are already checking around for me. Such a thoughtful group you are. Now I better go look too. Can't put everyone else to work while I keep sitting here. Why are you winking at me? What? Why are you winking at me? I thought you might come back, and that's not what's important. I have to go. Thanks again, Amy, so much. Cool, bye. Jogged off down the street without another word. You decided to check the hills behind your house. Ding, ding, ding. Step 1, first sight. I hate him. I hate him already. Sorry, Cove, but I hate your dad. The chirping of crickets in the tall grass greeted you, quiet and familiar. From the top of the hill, you could see the ocean. As you walked, you listened to the crash of the waves on the shore, and the seagulls squawking as they settled down for the night. The hill, this is important thing, and add in 50 seconds. From the top of the hill, you could see the ocean. Oh, I already read that. What? Okay. What did I do? Okay. You've always loved the ocean. It was so much fun. Sometimes Lizzie would join you, but the two of you splashing each other in the waves, those were the best days. Took in a deep breath. You wanted to try to relax, and couldn't. You weren't sure what, but something told you that you weren't alone, so you glanced around. Oh, okay. So what did I skip? Maybe I didn't skip anything? I don't know. Oh. Oh, I thought he was just next to me. There was a boy sitting at the top of one hill, almost completely hidden within the long grass and white flowers surrounding him. Oh. His head was buried in his knees, staring ahead by himself. For whatever reason, probably just that he wasn't paying attention, he hadn't noticed you yet. I wanna hug him. I wanna hug him. You watched him a minute longer, feeling a little bit like you'd found a deer in the wild. Though deer didn't have... Wow, that's a lot. Though deer didn't have green hair, wavy eyebrows, huge glasses, pink casts, and sad frowns. Cool. Glad I get plenty of opportunities for hugs. Though deers didn't, well, some of them might have sad frowns. I don't know what kind of deer are depressed. There could be tons of depressed deer. Wavy eyebrows. But this new boy did. You weren't sure what else in the world had eyebrows like that, if there was anything. After a few more seconds, you took a step forward, then another, and then he glanced your way. His aquamarine eyes reflected the light of the moon. You stopped, raising a hand to acknowledge him and show you weren't scary. Oh. Hey, Space Cadet. Especially if the deer got shot. Allie! Don't bring Bambi's mom into this. Hi. With a start, he jumped to his feet, his hands balling into fists at his sides. Oh. Oh, I wanna hug him. I wanna hug him. He's so sad. He didn't say anything, just stared at you in a strange way. He'd been crying. There were traces of tears on his cheeks and his knees, soaking the hem of his shorts, and his eyes were still shining with a few more. Oh, poor baby. You'd obviously caught him off guard. His pink cast seemed to glow in the twilight, though when he caught you staring at it, he had his arm behind his back. Something a man earlier had stuck out to you. Cove? Eyes wide, he studied you. How do you know that? You touched the money in your pocket, feeling it crinkle beneath your fingertips. I'm all-knowing. Oh, I was just like, did I accidentally pick something? No, I just scrolled. I met your dad.
Oh.
Oh, that's sad. Oh. So, is this your hill? He gestured with his uninjured arm to the patch of grass surrounding you, his face falling at the prospect. I can leave if it is. You can't own a hill. Why not? How could you? You just do. I had a hill back home. Well, it still isn't mine. Oh. Oh. Cool. Cool. Well, I'm gonna sit back down. He sat back down with a thump, resting his chin on his knees again. Curious about the strange new boy with the odd dad, you sat on the patch of grass next to him. The pure white flowers that covered this hill rocked back and forth gently as the stars twinkled above. The way they dotted the sky made them seem like flowers, too. The night wind was cool as it traveled over the ocean and up the hill, chasing away the heat from the afternoon sun. Why are you here? A quiet hiccup escaped Cove as soon as you asked the question. Oh, almost like they'd never stopped. His tears started up again with a vengeance. I wanna hug him. He needs a hug. He needs a hug. My parents, they don't want to live together with me anymore. Oh. Now I'm gonna cry. The tears fell fast and heavy over his flushed cheeks, sticking in his dark lashes. My mom made my dad leave and he took me with him, and now we have a house here and I want to go home. Oh. The outburst took you off guard. By the time he was done wailing, Cove's chest was heaving with the exhaustion. I almost said heaving. He sniffled and removed his glasses, wiping at his eyes with the back of his hand before he put them back on again. I hate this place. I want my real life back. Oh, I want my mom. Stop crying. Rude. You'll like it here. You just have to get used to it. He slipped his hand underneath his glasses and pressed his fingers against his eyelids. Cove wound himself up again for another long crying fit. I'm gonna cry. Sunset Bird was a nice place to live. It had a beach, playgrounds, a good school. At least you thought so. But from way off in the distance, you heard your parents. Amy!
Cove?
Cove? Okay, that's... Why was it like that? Cove? 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 Not Cove! It's just Cove? Kids, where did you go? Cove looked at you, tears still clinging to his cheeks. Don't tell them we're here.
I want to go home.
I don't want to go back to that house. I want to go home. It will be okay. You're struck by a sudden need to reassure Cove. It's not gonna all be fun, but isn't he your family too? Yeah, I guess. And you can count on him when you really need him. You shot him a grin and pushed yourself to your feet. Slowly, Cove stood up with you, still looking a little reluctant. His dad's voice rang out again. Cove, can you hear me? He looked towards the sound of his dad's voice, silent, then turned away while rubbing his not bandaged arm.
Sorry.
I always expect that there's gonna be more. Sorry, I still don't want to go. I'll wait silently with him. Yeah, I get it. You do? Before you could answer, you heard Cove's dad even closer than before. There you are, bud! The trio of parents appeared over the curve of the hill. Instantly, all their eyes landed on you, and they rushed over. Oh, cool. Both of your moms are at your side in a split second, faces filled with worry. Oh, I'm sorry, moms. Amy, you're here after all. Which one is mom and which one is mommy? Is that shown? Is that ever said? Is it just you decide? Or is it just... Is there a canon mom and mommy? Or is there... Okay. So, mom and mommy, okay. Amy, you're here after all. We had been at the park to check for Cove, and then heard what happened earlier when you met the new neighbor. I thought you might have gone off further away. Why is everybody asking about Why is everybody acting like this is such a big thing? No, we were just sitting in the grass. Hold on. Thank goodness you're both fine. Were you two having fun out here? He looked over at Cove, who was wiggling against his dad's tight hug and pushing at his arms. He's good. I think I'm gonna marry him. I kind of want to choose that. I kind of want to choose that. He's good. I think I'm gonna marry him. What? This is hilarious. He's good. I think. Oh, so it's just so funny. I think I'm gonna marry him. You nodded, smiling slightly. Oh, that's wonderful. Stop winking at me, dude. There's a lot of slightly flirty lines like that. I'm gonna accuse all of them if I can. Finally letting go of his squirming, scowling son, Cove's dad turned to the three of you.
That's a relief.
Thanks very much for finding him. I really don't know this neighborhood. Good thing Amy knows this whole area so well. Absolutely, we should be getting home now. It's been a long day for us all. Cove's not very happy, I can see that. Say goodbye, Cove.
Bye.
Oh. Bye. The two of them walked off into the darkness, heading toward the neighborhood. You watched Cove's bright pink cast until it disappeared. Tell you what, we'll have a proper playdate tomorrow, okay? Your new friend's dad wanted to bring him by to see you and Lizzie. How does that sound? It sounds like words. Sure, can I show him my stuff?
Of course.
It is nice when the line is fully voice acted, even if it's a short line. It's just weird when it's just like, and then that, like, it's weird. Then okay. Both of your moms laughed, the sounds overlapping into a warm, familiar chorus. Mommy put her arm around your shoulder and led you towards the path. Satisfied, more than a little ready to go to bed after your long, exciting day, you follow them home. Choose your feelings for Cove. This is how you feel towards Cove in this step. It can change in later steps. Love. Ooh. Ooh. Well. Do I want to choose fond or crush? I'm not choosing indifferent, but do I want to choose fond or crush? That... This is actually hard. I'd say for comfort, it's either going to be relaxed or nervous. Nervous because crush. Relaxed because friend. Yeah, I'll go fond and relaxed. Cool. Ready. No. Yeah. Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go. Achievement unlocked. Childhood friendship. Let's go. Let's go. We got a friend. At the breakfast table the next morning, you finished your food faster than usual. Your sister Lizzie had run out earlier to go play, but you'd stayed put. Today, just like your moms had promised, Cove was coming over to hang out. Excited to see your new friend again, Amy? Yeah, I know, just nervous just feels like I'm already at the crush phase, to be honest. But if I'm choosing fond, then relax. Once I choose crush, then it'll be nervous. Also, ad starts in like 4.5 minutes. I am excited to see my new friend. Oh, achievement unlocked, relax. Yeah, I am.
How sweet.
I'm so happy he moved in.
Okay.
It's just like weird. Also, why okay for what? With that said, are you done with your breakfast? I don't know. Am I? Yeah, I'm gonna say that. You just look down to the empty dish in front of you, raising your eyebrows dramatically.
Okay.
We see. Good job. He should be here soon. Cleanup began, and then, on cue, there was a knock. Ow. It was hesitant, like the person wasn't sure they were in the right place. Still loud, though. We need to get a more obvious doorbell. I know. Amy, could you get it? Wiggling out of your chair without really pushing it back, you made your way to the door. Hey, Penguin family, thanks for having us. It's weird thinking of Penguin as a last name. Mr. Holden, as your moms have called him, and his son were here. Cove looked different in the bright lighting of your living room, and when he wasn't crying. Of course, when he wasn't crying. With his dad standing in front of him and mom and mommy behind you, you and Cove looked at each other. Pleased to see your new friend again, you smiled at Cove. He smiled back with some hesitation. This is cute. You twisted. Which bead do I twist? Oh, threaded bracelet, or a bead, or a shell. This is just you twisted the crystal bead bracelet on your wrist. Let's go play in my room.
Okay.
You don't sound very pleased about that.
Take care.
Let us know if you need anything, you two. Have fun, kids.
See you.
Son. See you later, son. Play nice. You led him to your room, puffing out your chest a little bit at the sight of your treasures. My treasures. There were lots of stuffed animals, a cool bed, a window to look out. It was a great room. You hadn't had anyone to show it to in a while, but you were really proud of it. He leaned in a little closer to one of your drawings on the wall. I like this. I don't. Artists, when people say they like their art, I don't. Ral, when you say you like her art. That's right. Slash lighthearted slash half joking. Also, Landon has a bed like this, I'm realizing. Similar, at least. Yeah, no, pretty much exactly like this, except bigger. I'll just say thank you, because I don't know what I drew. If I knew what I drew, then maybe I would be like, me too, or I drew that, or I don't. It's nice to see him smile. You smiled at him. You were proud of that particular piece of art, and you were glad he noticed it. Oh, I'm proud of it. Cool. He turned to look around the room a little more, studying the books on your desk and the pictures on the walls. You started to feel a bit nervous. You wanted to say something but didn't know what, so you let him keep looking. Then his eyes landed on the tiny box of beach things you'd collected, tucked away by your door. He took a step towards it before hesitating and pointing at it instead. What's that? A hoard of stuff I found on the beach.
Oh.
Do you have any driftwood in there? Dragging the box into the middle of the room, you and Cove flopped down next to it. I think so. Yeah, see? You gestured to a piece at the bottom, still covered with specks of sand.
Neat.
Neat. This is a good collection. You got the sense from the tone of his voice that he wasn't just saying it to be nice, or to be like Shiloh. He actually meant it. Is Shiloh a character or is Shiloh a mood? I don't know. Shiloh's a name, so I'm thinking Shiloh's a character, but I could just be ignorant and Shiloh is an actual word. Oh, ad. Oh right, I almost forgot. Shiloh's gonna be here. Okay, it's a person. Shiloh's gonna be here today. Shiloh? Lizzie's friend. Or, like, her #1 fan, I guess? Do I have to see him? It should be okay. I mean, he's Lizzie's friend, not mine, but, you know. Come on, check out my shells some more. I found this one in their big piece of seaweed that had washed ashore, and... You pulled out seashell after seashell, explaining where you'd gotten each one and holding them up against the light. There were big ones, small ones, pink, purple, and orange. Most of them you washed off in the bathroom sink when you brought them home, cleaning off the sand. Over the past few years, you'd even learned some of their scientific names. The collection was so huge and varied that you had lots of funny stories to tell for all of them. Your voice faltered a bit, but you kept going as best as you could. We'll go with that one. You're really proud of your shell collection, and it made you happy that Cove was interested in it too. Apparently fascinated, either by the stories or by the shells themselves, Cove listened with what looked like the full force of his attention. It was a new experience to be the center of such dedicated focus. Welcome back from ads. But Cove hadn't been mean to you, so you didn't mind. You smiled at him every now and then, while showing him your collection. Kids, come down to the living room. You could tell the idea was making him unhappy, but Mommy wasn't giving you much of a chance to hang around. Cove hadn't been like this meeting you. You guessed it was because he thinks you found each other by accident, not that a parent made it happen. Mr. Holden must be right that telling Cove his dad was a part of that would be a bad idea. Before you knew it, you'd both been escorted downstairs and deposited in the living room, ready for Shiloh's visit. The two of you sat side by side on the floor of your home's entryway. I brought the box of shells. I want to keep looking at them. Great. Bust it open. We can keep looking while we wait for Shiloh. Cove reached in and pulled out a huge... it doesn't say huge. A big orange shell. Oh. Like he hadn't spoken aloud yet, he turned to you and held it up, his eyes shining. Why? What is that face? That's adorable. I think this one is the best of them. I like a different one best. I can show it to you. Ooh, shall I let him take it? Should I let him take it? I'm gonna let him take it. Cove looked at you in surprise, his eyes going wide. Really? Sure, you like it a lot, right? Uh-huh, but I don't want to take it away from you. It's okay. You got the impression he was hesitant to accept something because he didn't know you very well. Now, do I insist, or do I let it go? This is the real dilemma. This is the real dilemma. Insist or let it go? So, I'm gonna think of blue as logic, and yellow as like empathy. I don't remember what they were, but that is that's what it is now. I'll let it go. Okay. You didn't want to pressure Cove too much. It was supposed to make him happy, not nervous. Plus, Cove is your neighbor now. Maybe you could give it to him another time. The two of you were still sitting on the floor looking through your collection of beach findings when the doorbell finally rang. Cove jumped, startled by the sound. Since the person hadn't knocked, you figured it was probably Shiloh. He knew where to look for that. Lizzie's friend? Nod. You nodded, but that didn't seem to make Cove feel better. It was already obvious that Cove didn't hide his feelings very well. You could tell that what he was thinking right away. Okay. Cool. And then green is anxiety. / shyness. This isn't a good idea. He'll be alright. He's here. We can't tell him to leave. He's at our door. He's at our only door, and if you go upstairs, he'll find you. Cove glanced around the room, his eyes wide, and finally paused with his gaze locked onto the back of the house. I can go out the window. He was already walking towards it. Scrambling to think of something to say, you stepped forward, then paused. Good idea. Let's go. Do you want to break your other arm? Shiloh is the least scary person alive. Cheer up, Shiloh's gonna like you. Please don't get hurt. I'll come with you. Good idea. Let's go. It's a Covism. I'll come with you. Hurry, they'll see where we're going. He glanced back at you, then nodded. The two of you made your way to the window together. It wasn't much of a distance to clamber out, but by the time you landed it gently in the bushes. You looked up to see that Cove was already taking off away from the house. He was not that fast. You knew you could outrun him if you had to. He was not that fast, but neither were you. That's when you weren't sure if you could go fast enough to reach him. He was not that fast. You knew you could outrun him if you had to. Go! You ran as fast as your legs would take you, grass whipping around your ankles as you did so. Cautiously, Cove slowed to a halt and looked back at you. Where are you going? I don't know. Somewhere else. I just don't want to see... Amy! Looked back. You looked back and saw Shiloh huffing down the hill after you, the backpack he clutched bouncing all around along the way. What are you doing? Can I come? He must have seen you leaving out the window and followed behind.
Hi!
Oh, hi. Are you Cove?
Yeah.
Well, Cove said it. I'm Shiloh. Okay. Yep, are we going back, or are we gonna play outside? Shiloh's eyes moved between you and Cove. The smile remained strong on his face. It got a tiny frown from Cove in response. You were just grateful he hadn't asked you why you had been running away. Inside, we left the box on the floor. Right, my shells and stuff. We have to make sure they're okay. With Shiloh trailing behind, you and Cove headed back toward the house. The plan for the afternoon, at least as far as you were concerned, was to sit and look at the beach things some more. You weren't really in the mood for... you weren't really in the mood to do much of anything else, especially if Cove was having fun. Hey, check out this scallop shell I found. Cool, right? It's a pretty color, kind of like my cast. The beautiful, glittering pink did look a bit like the wrap around his arm. Pink is a nice color. Okay.
Oh?
Why are you blushing, Shiloh? What? Is it your favorite color?
Oh?
Not really. What is? Maybe green. Or blue. It might be yellow. Oh, those are all cool.
I guess.
There are better colors. I'm not sure how to deal with the suddenly more awkward silence you look back at yourselves. I like those colors too.
Awesome.
Both of them smiled. Like usual, it didn't take long for Shiloh to get fidgety. Lizzie was his favorite. Without her around, Shiloh didn't seem to know what to do with himself. And Cove wasn't like your sister. He wasn't that much like you either. Is Lizzie coming back? Don't know. Aww. Where'd she go? I think she's at the beach. Probably. Is she playing at the park? At her park? Cove's eyes lit up at the mention of the park, and he looked towards you. There's a park? Yep, but it's old. Can you show me? I want to go. He started getting up before you had even answered, and Shiloh jumped up beside him in excitement. Really? You do too? You do too, right, Amy? The park is fun. I love it. Nope. No, the park is pretty great. Yeah, it's right at the beach, so there's lots of fun stuff to do, and lots of sand. It has a jungle gym and a bunch of swings. That sounds like it could be cool. So, are we going to find Lizzie? I don't know. I never really wanted to see her. I just wanted to check the park out. Drift without any direction, Shiloh finally turned to you. Okay. He broke off. Both boys wanted to go. It was only fair. After getting permission from your moms, the three of you were ready to head out. It was a short walk to the park. Lizzie had convinced your moms that it was so short she should always be allowed to walk there by herself. When you found her, she was hanging on the jungle gym, swinging back and forth. Hey, Lizzie. Her face lit up when she saw you, her big brown eyes going wide. Amy! Shiloh! Hi! She dropped to the ground and landed with a soft thud in the sand. In a split second, Shiloh had abandoned you two and scrambled over to stand by her. You were used to being left out when it was just the three of you, but now Cove was here. You wondered if he would leave too. Who's that? I don't like you already. That pose and asking who's that together. It's Cove, he's new.
Hi.
Hi. Oh. I remember. Hi, Cove. Welcome to my park. Nobody ever comes to play here, so this is where we get together. She gestures wildly with her arms, as if to present the area toward the newcomer. Without interrupting Lizzie's speech, Cove whispered in your ear, quiet enough so that the others wouldn't overhear. I thought kids couldn't own places like parks, or hills. You couldn't help but laugh a tiny bit. While Lizzie continued talking, you took the chance to kick off your shoes and wriggle your toes through the warm sand. Nice, huh? In this neighborhood, I'm the one who comes up with the ideas. You are?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I am. Who else could handle the job? Shiloh gets embarrassed when he blushes. Shiloh, why you... I'm kidding. I'm teasing. Lizzie's the oldest. Oh, yeah, there he is. Getting embarrassing. By a lot. My mom said you're Amy's age.
Yeah.
That's how. I'm still the only one in this group with double digits. She's probably like 10. She's 10, isn't she? What about other kids? Other kids? There aren't any. We're the only kids here, and Shiloh is just visiting from another place. Not even tourists really bring their kids here. This is the land of ancients. Be careful that the oldies don't try to steal your youth.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't like her. For a second, it looked like he might cry again. But something in his eyes shifted and he looked back at Lizzie. What kind of old people? Like moms and dads or grandparents? Grandparents who don't have kids. They hate kids. Why? We haven't done anything. Stop saying stuff like that. You're gonna upset him. You interjected quickly, hoping Cove wouldn't start crying again. He sniffled, his forehead creasing with worry. At about 5 minutes, Lizzie was staring Cove down, but Cove wasn't even looking at her anymore. He didn't seem to care that she was there. He went into his own head. Oh. Shiloh was the next one to speak, completely unaware of the situation. I met Lizzie and Amy in school. You'll see tons of kids there once summer is over. Lizzie just looks so shocked. I looked down to the dirt. He hasn't had much luck stirring up conversations with Cove. Or striking up, not stirring up. I like summer vacation a lot, too. Oh, I was about to say that in all the building tension in the air suddenly vanished when Lizzie laughed. At Shiloh's discomfort, at how weird she thought Cove was. At something else entirely. You didn't really know, but she laughed, face scrunching up.
Okay.
Welcome to Sunset Bird Cove. Take a seat, put up your feet, and get used to it. Ugh. You offered him a small smile, and at least looked to reassure him some. I'm his comfort character. For the rest of the summer, Cove was always there. You saw him more often than Shiloh. And on Sundays, when she was in a bad mood or busy, you even saw him more than Lizzie. He became a staple of your everyday life, the way sun and lunch and the beach were. During your first summer together, you really liked Cove. He was a fun person to play with, and he seemed to like playing with you, too. Of course, that was only the start of things. DLC? What? Oh, moment select. Ooh. And then summer ended. Just summer ended without doing a moment. Ooh. Is it I only get to pick one, don't I? I only get to pick one. Ooh. Let's see. Fireflies. Shopping, grown-up, long day, sandcastle. Library, ghost, barbecue, runaway, sleepover. I'm gonna have to get the DLC at some point. Oh, I can do all of them? Cool. Shopping. Come back before it gets dark, alright, sport? The familiar voice drifted across the street and drew your attention away from the snail you'd been watching inch slowly across the pavement. Cove waited in front of his dad, pushing his green hair back off his face from where the breeze was blowing it over his glasses. He looked to be paying only a mild amount of attention as he was being handed a few slips of green paper. It reminded you of when you first met Mr. Holden, although he's probably not paying Cove to be friends with himself. I mean, that would be weird. Cove's dad seemed to feel your gaze somehow, or maybe you made a noise because a second later his eyes were on you. He waved you over with a smile. He looked happy to see you, but you still felt a little weird for getting caught. You've got to learn how to be more sneaky. You brushed your hands together to free them of sand, then jogged over to join the two, smiling at Cove first, then his dad.
Amy!
Hi. How's it going?
Good to see you again. What excitement are you up to today, Amy? Taking a walk? I found a pretty cool snail across the road. There's lots of snails around here. Mr. Holden grind. I was about to say grind again. Grinned at you kindly. When you finished answering the question, Mr. Holden's attention returned to Cove, who was preoccupied with folding the bills he had into a tiny rectangle. Sounds fun. You know, Cove was about to hit the stores by the beach. Why don't you go with him? Because I'm kidding. You gave a ready nod, turning to squint in the direction of the stores like you could see the goods they had to offer all the way from where you stood. There's like no commas there. They should have commas there. Although I go to Steam for the achievements and 10% of people haven't even begun the prologue. Wow. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Great. I'm sure you guys will have loads of fun. I'm just like occasionally when there's a voice line, that summarizes it. Let's move on. Mr. Holton reached into his pocket and pulled out a leather wallet filled with money. You found it odd since your moms only ever seemed to have cards in theirs. Here. He leaned in to pass a crisp 10 to Cove, giving him a wink and a whisper. Get something for your friend, too. Sure.
Good kid.
Good kid. Why is that funny to me? That's my boy. Cove's dad ruffled his son's hair as he was straightening back up, the bill in his hand still held out towards the green-haired boy. Or I wanted to check how much the DLCs were. I might want to get them at some point. Step 1 expansion? Okay, seems like that adds more moments. Did they just add, like, more moments? Well, the first one is, like, $4. I might be able to do that. So, yeah, there's a chance I could do that. Oh, I thought you were in ads. It says ads in progress. And no long... Okay. Yeah, I'm going to do all the moments and then eventually do the morgue moments. They all add more moments for each step. Okay. And then the Cove wedding story. So I'm probably gonna do that. Wait, what? Excuse me, what? Well, good thing I don't see that. So I'll probably just get the step. I'll probably just, like, get all of them except for the soundtrack that I can see. All the ones for the step and then the wedding, and then I'll slowly do them, probably. We'll see. We'll see when I get to that. Oh, okay. And hide it from Twitch's eyes. Hide it from YouTube's eyes. Hide it from everyone's eyes. Right. Take care. Cove accepted the bill after a second and slipped it into his pocket. Then, with one last nod to his dad, he turned and started walking. You followed after him, intrigued at the possibilities this outing might bring. Cove strayed towards the gentle tide creeping up the sand, and you fell into place beside him. It was a nice day. The sun was shining, and there weren't many clouds in the sky, though the wind coming off the ocean kept it from being too hot. You took in a deep breath, enjoying the scent of salted ocean air. It's probably not today. It's probably, like, in step 3. Oh, is the wedding DLC is that the not safe for work one? If so, then I can just not get that one. Cool. We'll burn that bridge when we get to it. Cool, it is in step 3. Alright. We'll burn that bridge. When you looked at Cove, he was dragging his feet through the sand a little, and you slowed down to wait for him. His eyes searched the ground intently. Fair enough. I'll probably do research about, like, the things that shouldn't be here, so that I don't accidentally, get age restricted or anything. So, yeah. And we'll see. I'll look into when it is and stuff. Are you looking for shells? Cove startled a little at the sound of your voice and mumbled, sort of. If you see any, you can let me know. You can manage that. You dropped your view to the sand, walking carefully so you didn't step on any. Fine. I'll trust you. For now. I'm kidding. I'll trust you. You could manage that. You dropped your view to the sand, walking carefully so you didn't step on any. You were good at finding shells. You had a lot of them at home, and always found new ones whenever you visited the beach. I should save before I crash. I'm probably not gonna crash, but save before I forget, in case something happens. The comforting sound of the waves filled the silence with pleasant white noise, and you played a little game with yourself as you walked along, getting as close to the water as possible without getting wet. It resulted in you having to run up the sand quickly when a wave rushed in more than a few times, and although Cove threw a few glances your way, he didn't say a word. What do you usually... You didn't either. He seemed altogether too invested in the floor to pay attention. You decided to watch the waves as they inched closer and closer to your feet instead. Oh. Abruptly, Cove stops, then moved briskly ahead a few steps. What is it? Without a word, he bent down, picking something up half buried in the sand. You hurried nearer, curiously glancing over his shoulder. It was a shell, lightly pink at the bottom and bleached white at the top. Wow, so you found what you were looking for? Cove got back up, turning his find over in his hand before unbuttoning one of the many pockets on his pants and sliding inside. I pick up anything that's kind of cool. This is what I got this time.
So...
What about you? What do you do out here? Nothing. I like to do nothing. I like looking at fish. They don't like me, so they always swim away if I get close, but they're pretty before that. Cool. Starfish are fun. Why is this face, like, so cheeky? They aren't going anywhere, even if you touch them. A small laugh escaped you. That's true. Once you reached the shopping area, the noise level grew exponentially. No longer just waves and footsteps, but the chatter of people enjoying the lovely summer day, the call of birds trying to find bits of food left behind, and lots of salespeople trying to get attention. You sniffed the air as you walked beside Cove. You could still smell the ocean, but there were other scents now too. Pizza, pretzels, hot donuts. It's not very nice. It's alright. There was a lot going on, but it beat staying at home and doing nothing all day. I say, as that's what I do on the regular. You were sure that you and Cove could find something to fill the day if you looked around a bit. Cove was glancing from one side of the street to the other with a look in his aquamarine eyes that you couldn't quite work out. What's that? Cove pointed to a large crowd of people gathered near a few tables with large, colorful umbrellas blooming from their middles. You couldn't see past the adults who were blocking the way, but you knew there must be something worth seeing. Also, looking at the time we've spent on this, I might only get to do 1 or 2 memories today, so it's probably gonna be a while before we finish the memories. probably gonna be like next stream that we stream this is gonna be like 3 or 4 memories. I'll finish this memory and see where we're at. Without another word, the two of you hurried over to see what all the commotion was about. Feast your eyes on the amazing Alexander! In the center of the crowd was a man with a tall hat and a funny green coat that had 3 long tails. There was a little table next to him with a cloth hanging over it that read, "The Amazing Alexander!" in glittery golden script. Why tell people his name if it's already on a sign? Cove hummed with understanding, then turned to walk away just as the Amazing Alexander began shuffling a deck of cards. Maybe we could stay and watch? Cove glanced back at the man. He then briefly lifted his arms up off his sides before returning them to place. You grinned, waving for him to follow you as you raced back to the stand in front of the to stand in the crowd. With that, it began. The magic man pulled 1 card out of the deck, showing it to the curious onlookers. It was a 4 of diamonds. Watch closely. You did, squeezing through a few of the adult onlookers to get a better view. Suddenly, the man snapped his fingers and the card just disappeared. Whoa! Unimpressed, the amazing Alexander, who had earned his title, turned his head and looked directly at you. He reached out with a kind smile. What's this behind your ear? Nothing? It was true. You didn't keep anything there. He smelled like popcorn and candy when he stepped closer, and you wrinkled your nose in confusion as you watched him. You felt a tug, then he pulled the 4 of diamonds out from behind your ear. You knew that it couldn't really have come from here, but you still didn't know how he'd done it. There was a light applause from the crowd, and the man gave a deep bow. This is for you. The magician plucked a pair of balloons from a clump of them tied down to his table. Both were in the shape of a dolphin instead of being a normal circle. And the one for your friend too. Thank you for being my assistant. This was ridiculous. Wow. Now you were really grateful he chose you. After that, he went to someone else in the crowd. Pick a card, any card. My uncle does that every time he visits. Not the balloons, the stuff with cards. Your uncle? Cove spoke plainly while reaching over to take the dolphin that had been designated for him. Cove is just ruining the fun. You wondered if Cove's whole family was magic. At least you had a fun time. You saw a magic trick and you got a great balloon. That was more than enough to make it worthwhile, at least. Oh wait, to make it a worthwhile event. I read that wrong. You thought that if you could find a card to practice with, maybe you could make it disappear too! The crowd started to clear some, and you noticed to the side there was a whole rack of brightly colored kaleidoscopes on display. You walked past the toys. Kaleidoscope, Rubik's Cube, Magic 8 Ball, or walk past? Kaleidoscope. Oh, these are cool. You shifted your balloon string to your other hand so you could bring the mysterious tunnel to your eye. A whole palette of colors appeared right in front of you, spinning into all kinds of different shapes as you twisted the end of the tube. Cove picked one up and looked through, twisting the tube at the end. After a second, he set it back on the rack, moving to the other side of the stall. Oh. Nope, I did not mean to load. He went under the awning, careful of his own floating dolphin, and you joined him. Do you have places like this? Do you have places like this in your old town? Cove blinked at you for a moment, and you wondered if you shouldn't have asked. You knew how much you missed that place. Yeah. Not really. You nodded in understanding, looking over at the stalls nearby. Ooh. While Cove looked at sandpills, you were drawn to a table with colorful keychains laid out on it. They were sewn in the shape of sea creatures, and there was a plaque that read, "Handmade," standing proudly in front. Handmade dolphin, let's go. There were lots of different types. You saw a dolphin, a shark, a crab, a turtle. Dolphin. Your hand stopped on the dolphin. So similar to your balloon animal. It was made of a bright material that caught the sunlight when you picked it up. He remembered once seeing a pod of dolphins swimming out in the distance at the beach, jumping out of the water and splashing as they dived back in again. That was a great day. You were instantly enamored. Checking the price though, your heart fell. $6. You didn't know much about money, but you thought that was a lot to spend on one thing. You rarely had more than a $5 bill to your name. Though that changed the day you met Cove and his dad, you still had the $20 bill Mr. Holden gave you hidden away in your room. It was a grand sum of money, but you couldn't spend it on something that was at home instead of in your pocket. Maybe you'd have to ask your moms to bring you here again one day, now that you knew what you wanted. Is that what you want? Huh? Oh, it's $6. I didn't bring any money. Ral, is what you'd call a sus connoisseur? Ral, is it true? Ral, is that true?
Alright.
It's fine. I'm kidding. / lighthearted / teasing. Are you sure? Cove took the keychain from your hands, and that was that. He was holding a small yellow bucket for himself, too. Understandable, Ral. I was always going to get you something. I already got the money for it. You smiled, pleased to have things work out. It was nice of Cove's dad to let Cove buy something for you, too. You had to remember to thank him the next time you saw him. No way. / half joking. After Cove paid, the two of you stepped out of the store side by side, your balloon dolphins knocking together and spiraling around in the air. You watched Cove hold up his new pail to his face, examining it thoroughly. Hey, Cove. Yeah? Your dad gives out a lot of money, huh? I really like this keychain. Thank you. It's nice. Cove looked further down the street where different food carts were lined up. He rested his non-cast arm over his stomach, and just as he did yours, let out a light growl. You hadn't eaten since breakfast, and after all of this wandering around, you were definitely ready for some lunch. Let's get some food. Yeah. You two wandered around a short while, looking at all of the delicacies that were available. Everything looked delicious, and as the different smells, both sweet and salty, wafted over to you, your stomach growled even louder. After passing up hot dogs, snow cones, ice cream, and pizza, you both agreed on pretzels. Cove got something sweet and cinnamony, and you got something sweet and cinnamony. Ooh, cheese? Do I go savory? Sweet or savory? Got the same. You licked your lips hungrily as the vendor handed your pretzel over, ready to take a big bite. Your moms didn't like you to eat too much sugar, but this was a special occasion. The little cup of icing looked too delicious to pass on. You found an empty table close enough to the beach that the grit of the sand made terrible noises when you dragged the chairs out to sit down. These balloons are gonna make it hard to eat. Cove placed his bucket on the table as he stared at his still balled-up hand that was wrapped around the string. You opened your mouth to agree before an idea hit you. I know. After carefully placing your pretzel somewhere it wouldn't get sandy, you tugged the balloon dolphin out of Cove's hand and tied it in a delicate bow around his wrist.
Oh.
Oh. Cove bounced his arm up and down in place, testing the stability of your knot. After watching his balloon jostle around a bit but remain attached, he smiled, satisfied. Can you do it for me? He repeated the ritual. Cove struggled somewhat with the cast restricting his fingers on one hand, and a string already tangled around the other.
Okay.
Got it. The two of you spent a moment admiring your handiwork, both hands now free to allow easy munching on your pretzels. Munch. You bit into the doughy treat, savoring the taste on your tongue with a smile as you looked out over the ocean. After a time, you finished your pretzel. You were done before Cove. It was boring not having anything to do. You pulled on the string of your balloon to bring it down to your level. Then you held the dolphin in your hands, manipulating it to look like it was jumping through the air. You turned your face towards it. If you turned your face towards the beach, it almost looked like it was swimming in the waves like a real dolphin. A laugh came from your side. When you glanced back at Cove, he had left the remaining part of his pretzel on the wrapper and he was gripping his dolphin too. Mine's name is Merryweather. He's the Prince of Dolphins. Ooh. She's actually an alien. Mine's name is Splash. They star in movies. Mine's name is Sam. They're just a regular dolphin. Merryweather, he's the Prince of Dolphins. He wears a crown made of seaweed and all his friends are merfolk. Every now and then, he'll make friends with a kid and let them ride on his back. You sighed, wishing you could meet a real dolphin like Merryweather. What's yours? Cove considered this question, placing the balloon against the table and resting his free arm across it in contemplation. It's... With a loud... I'm trying to do a pop. With a loud... The dolphin exploded into ribbons. Oh. Oh no. For a second, all Cove did was gape in shock, like you. His cheeks puffed up, squinting his eyes, and you saw his tears start to glisten.
Amy.
You offered to find Alexander. No, joke, no. Joke would be in bad taste. Want my balloon? You looked at Cove, then up to your balloon, bobbing gently in the air above you. You can have mine. That was better than letting pry more. Cove sniffled, glancing up at the balloon, then back at you. No, it's yours. I don't want to take it from you. It's okay, really. Cove shook his head. Even though it wasn't your fault, you felt bad. Still, the offer seemed to lift Cove's spirits, and that was good. The passing of Cove's balloon was the last major event of your adventure. In the end, the two of you headed back late that afternoon. Calm music. You separated on the beach, and while Cove went straight home with his brand new sandpail in hand, you decided to sit for a while. You watched the waves and sunset fiddling with your new keychain. Another summer day was drawing to a close. It had been a good one, except for the sad final note. Ooh, alright. And then summer... I'm kidding. Let's save here. Cool. How old is this guy? The kid or me? Actually, both of us are 8. Right now, we're both 8. So, yeah. Do I have time to do another one? Yeah, I have time to do another one. Grown up. One sweltering summer day, you were in your living room with Cove, listening to sounds of the birds chattering outside the window while you lay across the rug on the floor. Cove's dad had dropped him off earlier, and your moms had left the two of you, along with Lizzie, to play amongst yourselves. It had been too hot to go outside in the afternoon, at least according to Mommy, so your sister was starting to get impatient waiting for a golf class that evening. The three of you had trouble finding something fun to do. The beach and the playground were off limits, and you felt that it was too warm for anything like playing with your fuzzy toy animals. Then suddenly, a light came to Lizzie's big brown eyes, and her smile spread wide across her face. Having an idea gave her a new wave of energy. Since we're stuck inside, we should be adults. They don't play outdoors anyways. They're always inside and telling everybody they're too busy to play.
Why?
Duh.
I said why, and it'll be fun. Duh. What do they do inside that we don't? Besides use the phone a lot. Exuding a small huff, Lizzie decides to ignore Cove.
What do you think?
Amy, what do you think? Do you want to? Cove said it. Doesn't sound fun. I don't know. Please, Amy. When have I ever had a bad idea? Whenever we play with you. I wasn't asking you. I'll try, but it sounds boring. Okay, I'll stay. I hope this is as fun as you're promising it'll be. Lizzie looked at you, deadly serious. It's the most exciting idea I've had all week. Satisfied that neither of you were about to bail on her, Lizzie thought over her options while you watched. After a few seconds, she clapped her hands together and beamed, apparently having settled on something without asking either of you. Okay, I'm gonna be a professional golfer. Amy, you and Cove can be a beach volleyball player, a gymnast, or a tennis player. Cove is savage. True. Why can't we pick anything we want? Because I have a fun idea, that's why. We have to play sports as adults? Yep. But there's other kinds of sports too.
Right?
It isn't the same. What do you think, Amy? Don't those choices sound super cool? You want to be that, huh? It really doesn't. Lizzie pouted, resting her hands on her hips and tapping her foot impatiently. Well, too bad. I made the plan and you are a part of it, so choose one already. Cove was not impressed with Lizzie's attitude. I'm not impressed with Lizzie's attitude. Though he didn't bother talking more about it for now. You thought over the list of possibilities. Beach volleyball, gymnastics, or tennis. Out of all of them, you'd prefer to play? I'd prefer to play none of them. But we'll go gymnastics. If you couldn't spend the afternoon doing cartwheels and handstands in the backyard, then you might as well practice them inside. There wouldn't be as much space as there was outside, but you could still try. Yes, that was clearly the top option. Okay, I'm gonna be a gymnast.
Alright!
How about you, Cove? I picked volleyball. I should have known. Okay, so Amy, you're a famous gymnast, and Cove, you're on a popular beach volleyball team. And Lizzie's ponytail bobbed and she proudly stretched her arms wide. We're Olympic athletes who just competed in the Olympics. Cove didn't seem all that impressed with the announcements. He made a face and adjusted the glasses on his nose. That's really specific.
Rude.
That's what makes it fun. Anyway, Lizzie marched back and forth in front of the both of you, getting lost in her own imagination. I won all good medals, and people are calling me the next Mickey Wright. Who's that? Lizzie stopped on the spot and turned on him, her brown eyes shining with impatience. It doesn't matter if you know who she is, it's a golf thing. You guys won medals too. Cove, your team was bronze, and Amy, you barely missed out on the gold and got silver. It's more real if we're not all first place. Silver sucks, I don't want silver. I'm okay with that. You shrugged your shoulders, agreeing with Lizzie. A silver medal was still really good in the Olympics. Bronze medal is still really good in the Olympics. I'm not. Cove folded his arms across his chest, apparently not as happy as you were with the decision.
Sorry.
Lots of people lose at the Olympics. Them's the breaks. Then you're the one who did, not me. Lizzie looked taken aback by Cove's declaration, as though the thought of her losing was completely absurd. No way, it wouldn't make sense. I'm already practicing my golf game. She took a golfing stance to make her point, pretending to swing her club and hit an invisible ball. So, what kind of house do you want to live in? Cove hadn't changed his mind about winning, but thinking about where he'd live as an adult appealed to him. Apparently, because he looked back at Lizzie with some of the anger fading. I'm going to live on the beach. Lizzie made a face at him, poking out her tongue. That's kind of boring. We already have that. No, not like the normal houses here with street on it. Right on the sand, by the water. Just like that, all the tension was back. You hadn't even had a chance. You hadn't even had a chance to choose where you would want to live. Yeah. Oh, I had. That was not Lizzie. You hadn't even had a chance to choose where you want to live. That's not very fun or smart, Cove. You can't live on a bunch of sand and shells. But I want to, and I will. Cove narrowed his eyes at Lizzie, even though she stood half a head taller than him. You didn't give out a list of things to pick from this time, so I'm picking that. Why are we even playing pretend if we can't imagine anything? Jeez, well, I'm gonna live in a mansion far away from here, and far away from you. One with an indoor pool and a place to practice my award-winning golfing. How come you were yelling about mine when your idea is even more impossible? Liz's face flushed red and her hands balling into fists at her sides. It is not impossible, and it's better than yours. Disagreements always seemed to crop up when the two of them were together, and I always felt like you were stuck in the middle. But when it came to the topic at hand this time, you thought, I'm tired of you. Being on the beach was cooler. Who wouldn't want to live on the beach? It'd be really great. You could have windows made from driftwood and seashell wind chimes. Ugh. He smiled slightly over the agreement, then turned to Lizzie with a bolstered confidence. You can swim whenever you want if you live on the beach. We can still swim anytime we want from where we live now. Being a little closer doesn't mean anything. Says you. Two of them scowled at each other. You're being so unreasonable, you... I don't get what you want. This game doesn't make sense. It does. You have to be realistic. I said that. But you're not. You had no idea what to do to make them stop at this point. It just seemed like the two of them would just keep working each other up as long as they could. Nothing you'd said so far kept them from being mad. Thankfully, like a greeting card angel, Mom walked into the room. Lizzie rushed to her, hanging onto the hem of her shirt and poking out her tongue at Cove. Lizzie, Amy, it's time to get ready to go.
Alright with that?
Sorry, you have to leave already, Cove. Their mommy said she'll walk you home, so you won't be left in the cold. Cove was still glaring at Lizzie, his face flushed red with anger. I can go by myself. Statistically, Lizzie's idea is more impossible, especially in this economy. For real. A mansion in this economy? Ha! I say. Double ha. Ha, ha. But, bye, Amy. No. There was still a harsh edge to the brief farewell, but you knew it wasn't you he was mad at. Without giving Mom a chance to stop him, Cove stood up and stalked out of the room, shoulders drawn tight.
Huh?
Oh, okay. Worried, Mom turned to look down at you and Lizzie. You two were playing nice with our new friend, weren't you? You told the truth. We were playing to pretend and things got intense. They were like cats and dogs. Your sister's jaw dropped, looking betrayed, as Mom put both hands on her hips. Elizabeth! I told you to be kind to him. He's having a hard time right now. Lizzie's mouth closed back up, replaced by a tiny frown. I know, I tried, but he was...
That's
no
enough.
buts. Wait, hold on.
That's enough.
We both know you can show someone a great time when you put your mind to it. We're going to apologize to Cove and his dad over the phone when he gets home from work tonight. Lizzie hung her head, dragging a foot across the ground and in front of her. That's what you get! That's what you get! Okay, Mom. Good girl. You got pieces of Lizzie sulking to herself about how it was his fault too, but it was over. Ah, right, we better get a move on.
Let's go.
Let's go, kids. Nolani, where did you leave the car keys? Is Nolani mommy? Mom hustled you all out the door, and you noticed during the car ride to golf practice that Lizzie was quieter than usual. She was usually the first one to request which music to listen to in the car, but she didn't say a thing. Your parents noticed she wasn't in a mood to be bothered. They gave her space, and Mommy just asked what you'd like to listen to. Pamela. Ooh. Cool. Sorry, Liz, but I don't like you. Fine, I guess I'll try to get along with Lizzie, even though she sucks. She sucks, but I mean, I get along with my siblings in real life. I should try to get along with my siblings in a game. You were happy to see it brightened her up right away, and she started singing along with you. Soon enough, her bad mood was a thing of the past. When the car ride was over, you spent the twilight hour watching Lizzie hit things with other girls her age. You didn't know much about golf, but you could tell that she really liked it, so you sat with your moms and tried to puzzle it out. Liz gets better after step 2, thank goodness. It was nice sitting outside after being cooped up in the house all day, and you stretched out your legs to let the last few minutes of sun warm your skin. When the sun was finally out of sight, dipping behind the horizon, you all got ready to leave. Instead of going straight home, your moms took the family out to dinner. You went to a restaurant you had all been going to ever since you could remember. The whole afternoon had been a bunch of shouting you hadn't been able to stop, but you could kind of tell that all this helped Lizzie be less angry. The car ride home was quiet, with only the radio providing escape from silence. Lizzie had been in better spirits now, but the closer you got to your neighborhood, the more she wiggled in her seat and frowned out the window. She knew what was coming when you all got back home. Clearly, she was dreading it. Soon enough, Mom was turning onto your street, then reversing into the driveway. Once she cut the ignition, it was dead silent. No one spoke, only unbuckled their seatbelts and opened their doors. Lizzie was the last one out. Once everyone was inside and done taking off their shoes, she propped her hands on her hips.
So,
Now then, Mr. Holden's car is in his driveway, so he should be back from work. That's good news, isn't it, Elizabeth? You and Cove can hash things out before the day's done. Lizzie didn't complain or put up a fight. Her head ducked so she didn't have to meet anyone's eyes. She nodded once. I feel a little bad for Lizzie. I feel a little bad, but she was being rude. Good, let's move this to the kitchen. Mom went over to the house phone, the rest of you following behind her. Mommy put a gentle hand on Lizzie's shoulder as they walked side by side. You watched them from the back. This was only happening because you told on Lizzie. You didn't regret it. You felt a little guilty, like you had betrayed your sister. You can still remember the look on Lizzie's face. There was no doubt she felt that way about it. You and your sister didn't always get along, but you cared about each other. This wouldn't change that, you thought. The four of you stood around the kitchen in a lopsided square. All eyes were on Lizzie, who kept her gaze on her feet. You remember the number for Cove's house, don't you, honey? Lizzie jerked her head in another nod, sullen. Without further prompting, she stepped forward and she began to dial. Mom reached over and pressed a button on the base. Suddenly, you could hear the phone ringing. She turned on the speaker. The phone rang a couple of times, then stopped. Mr. Holden's warm voice came through the other end. Evening, Holt residents. Lizzie looked over at Mommy, unsure. She nodded encouragingly. Hi, Mr. Holden. It's, Lizzie. Can I talk to Cove?
Absolutely.
Lizzie Penguin? What a surprise! But of course you can say hey to the boy. He sounded cheery as usual, though definitely meant it when he said it was a surprise. You thought hard, and you were sure that your sister had never called Cove's house before. Mom spoke up before Mr. Holden or Lizzie could say anything more. Her arms were crossed over her chest, her lips pursed. Hi, Cliff. Hi, Cliff. Nolani, Amy, and I are here, too. Cliff's his name. Cool. Good evening. We're sorry to bother you so late. He said nothing to Cove. I'll say hello, too. Hi, Mr. Holden. The gang's all here, huh? Is something the matter? His voice grew a bit concerned. Mommy was quick to reassure him. No, well, yes, but it's going to be okay. I feel bad. I don't want to feel bad, but I feel bad. Lizzie and Cove got into a bit of a fight today. We were hoping that the two of them could talk up and make up. Is this a good time for you and Cove?
What?
A fight? What? 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 A fight? Cove didn't tell me anything about that when I came home. It does explain the funk he's been in tonight. He chuckled lightly. Despite that, it didn't seem like he really thought it was funny. Anyway, it's good. You didn't catch us at a bad time. I'll go grab him for you. There was some shuffling on the other end. He must have not gone far because you could still hear him calling out. Cove, there's someone on the phone for you. After a beat of silence, there was more muffled talking from Cove's dad. Come on, bud. Lizzie just called so she could talk to you.
Are you sure?
Are you sure? I'm sorry, but...
Are you sure?
Are you sure? Welcome back from ads. Are you sure?
Are you sure?
Haley's on the other end listening too. Don't you want to say hi? Took a bit of back and forth, though the conversation seemed one-sided, since you couldn't hear Cove properly. Eventually, Cove took the phone from his dad.
Hi.
Hi. Hello? Hey, it's Lizzie. Yeah, I know. Dad told me. Cove's tone was defensive. Lizzie turned to Mom, scowling. One stern look from her, though, and Lizzie turned away.
Sorry.
I just called to say, I'm sorry. We're not playing nice with you today. Yeah, I won't do it again. Lizzie's eyes were downcast, her voice low. You could tell she felt uncomfortable apologizing to Cove in front of everyone. She was still being genuine about feeling bad. Cove must have realized that too, because he sighed quietly. I want gold. And I think Amy should win too. Really? He thought you were worth gold even though you hadn't even wanted it? Lizzie was momentarily silent by the demand. She probably forgot that had even happened already. Alright, we all win the gold. Okay, I guess I'm sorry too. A sense of relief washed over everyone at his acceptance of the apology. Mom uncrossed her arms while Mommy's shoulders relaxed. Lizzie's eyebrows raised up. You wondered if she thought he'd refuse her apology. Dad, can I get off the phone now? Mood. Can I get off the phone now? You couldn't see him, but it was obvious the Cove felt awkward about the situation. He'd come off uncomfortable the entire time, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go back to your room if you want. Be sure to say goodbye first, though. Bye, Lizzie. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Amy. Bye! You perked up at the mention of your name. You smiled, even if you couldn't see it. Bye, Cove. With that said, Cove must have handed the phone to his dad and left, since Mr. Holden spoke up.
That's a
All's
relief.
well that ends... Wait, what did he say?
That's a relief.
All's well that ends well, as they say. Thanks for arranging this. I'm sure he appreciates it. As Mom replied, Lizzie tugged on Mommy's hand to catch her attention. Can I go now too?
Good job.
Sure, sweetie. Thank you very much for apologizing to Cove. Mom flashed a brief smile at Lizzie and nodded her agreement. Given permission to leave, Lizzie scurried off towards the stairs. She seemed to be feeling much better with the incident behind her. Mom and Mommy returned to the phone. Taking it off the speaker, they continued talking to Mr. Holden. You couldn't tell what about. You were glad that that was the end of it all. Lizzie and Cove might not get along, and probably still won't, but they weren't mad at each other anymore. Mom and Mommy weren't upset either. Everything was finally back to normal. With that thought, you retreated to your own room with a spring in your step. Hoo boy. And then summer ended. I'm kidding. Summer's not ending there. Yep, we're saving it there. That took like 40 minutes to do both of those together. I don't have time to do the other 3. Alright. Oh, is it? Oh, that straight up just leaves the entire game. Alright, well, that's going to be it for today's video. If you did enjoy, hey, YouTube, you haven't seen this, have you? That's going to be it for today's video. If you did enjoy, please do leave a like, subscribe for more, check out all the links in the description, twitch.tv/AmethystPenguinLive to catch these live, Discord for notifications and stuff, Twitter for notifications and stuff, and I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye!